is hot in here. Okay, so I'm just gonna drive around now because I weren't able to prop up the phone before. Hopefully we'll be able to get out of here in a moment. So this is the new car, quote unquote. And hopefully you'll be able to hear me. I'm gonna turn on the air conditioning because it's super hot today. And it is time to get out of Dodge. Let me turn that up. Oh, never mind, actually. You won't be able to hear me if you do that. Okay. So I'm not going anywhere in particular. I just wanted to go for a little drive because I've got some time off and I might as well get used to the car while I'm waiting to start the new job. And it's still very tight here, so I gotta make sure to maneuver out of this spot first. And then we can finally go out of here. I don't know where I'm going yet. I'm just gonna drive around like I said, but I don't know, I keep repeating myself. Anyway, so nothing much has happened so far since Saturday because today is actually Wednesday. And I did actually go and gas the car for the first time the other day, which is something I hadn't done yet. Do I have my high beams on? I don't think so. And then I decided to also go and try out a different gas station that I normally don't use because it's a little further away from me, but apparently it's one of the cheapest ones in the area, so I went and did that. And at the same time, hello, gotta let the people on the mic go first. At the same time, I was trying out a different fuel. Normally I use Euro 95 because that's just the standard one. And my brother actually said that Euro 98 is better for the engine, particularly if you're not going to drive very often. So I decided to try and gas up with them, or that. First, I arrive at the gas station, and it doesn't say anything about Euro 98. It just says something like Super Euro or something. So I thought, okay, I guess that's it. Can we go? We can. I was just driving past the police station, and I don't want them to think that I'm calling. You're not supposed to call and drive. Anyway, so yeah, so Super Euro or something was on there. So I thought, okay, I'm guessing this is it, but I'm not really sure. So there's a good chance that if I now gassed up with that, it's going to end up ruining the engine for whatever reason. They should indicate it if it's not like diesel or something, because it's a gas car, so I should be able to throw anything in there except for diesel, pretty much, or like liquid gas, obviously. So I thought pretty much for sure that it was the correct one, but there's always that margin of error that I end up getting the wrong one instead, and I end up getting the car to stall, which would have been very unfortunate because I was also going to do a first drive on the highway with this car. So that would have been very unfortunate to stall on my first drive on the highway in this car, because that tends to set the tone for the driving experience in this particular car for me anyway. Had to avoid the very expensive looking Mercedes that came from the right and didn't actually have priority. So, and another first is that I actually drove with my sandals on, which is something I normally don't do because the previous car, like I've said several times, had a very shall I say sensitive gas pedal. You would be able to touch it and go, and that wasn't very good. There's a very slow car ahead of us. And so I kind of got used to taking my shoes off whenever I would go for a drive. But I tried it with this car, which is my sandals on, because this gas pedal reacts a little slower. So I figured I'd give that a try. We're currently in a little lineup of cars because there's a very slow Daewoo Matisse in front of us, probably driven by an old person who is a little bit afraid of A, breaking the law, and B, driving. A little difficult for, I guess, certain people to realize that maybe they shouldn't be driving anymore. But, you know, as you get older, sometimes you also get more stubborn. And I do understand, of course, that you want to keep your mobility as an older person, because you might otherwise be dependent on other people who may not have the time for you because they need to work, etc. So I could definitely see somebody trying to drive, as long as they think that they're capable of doing that. But at some point, you do have to say that this is now too dangerous. Anyway, people think that I'm talking about the Bengali, so I'm going to stop it here for now, but I'll see you later. We're going on a second trip. This is a few days later. There you are. And I'm just going to go to the store, grab some groceries, so let's just get started. And I think I fixed my issue with the... I don't really need anything else right now. My high beams were on. There we go, got it. So I haven't had this car for very long, so I wasn't quite sure where everything was. I figured out how to turn on my headlights, and it had my high beams on. Every time I thought I was turning on my headlights, I had my high beams on. So there's a difference in the colors of the indicators when the lights are on, whether it's the regular light or the high beams. Regular light is yellow and high beams is blue. I think most people that saw me driving with my high beams on just kind of ignored it, because I tend to drive during the daytime, and I guess it's kind of annoying where people will notice that the high beams are on, but it's not that big of an issue, so they just kind of go, oh well. They don't really do anything, but one guy actually started flashing his high beams at me. That usually means there's something wrong. I was already of the impression that there was indeed something wrong with my headlights. I immediately turned it off to try and figure out what the problem was, but I couldn't figure it out on the spot. But like I said, I downloaded the manual, and then that thing told me exactly how it works. Come on, you can do it. Somebody still may have to turn over there. And now we're good. That's the whole story of the high beams. Anyway, so that's one thing. And the other thing is I ordered some speech buttons, or I don't know how you want to call those things. There's a couple of channels on YouTube and that, or on TikTok and other places, where people have these buttons and their dog or their cats can't press them, and then there's a certain recording of the owner's voice saying whatever it is that the cat or dog might want them to communicate to the owner. And I don't know if my dog is going to actually do that at some points. I made a couple of those buttons, like I recorded the thing I usually say when I ask if she wants a snack, and I recorded the one which I usually say for when it's time for dinner or something like that. I have a third button for walkies, but I don't have enough batteries right now. So we need to go and get some batteries at the grocery store today to fix that issue, so that I have enough batteries for all three buttons. So then she does know the terms I use, and when I play the button, she kind of looks at it like, what's that? How did you get in that small box? Because she knows it's my voice, but she doesn't quite understand what's going on. So hopefully every time I give her a snack and I play that button, she'll eventually realize, like, hey, if that button is placed or pressed, or that thing makes a sound, because I don't know if she knows it's supposed to be pressed or not, that means I get a snack, or that means it's dinner time, or that means it's time for a walk. So hopefully she'll then at one point click and go, hey, if I press it, maybe I'll get a snack, or maybe we'll go for a walk or something along those lines, so she can actually communicate a bit better. What are you doing standing still over here? Oh, the geese. There's a whole bunch of geese crossing. Oh, there's lots of them. They're just kind of walking around here. They're all over the place. Like 20 or 30 geese in one group, and they just kind of walk all everywhere they want to go. The Canadian geese are like very good at procreating, unlike the white geese that are in our neighborhood. But okay, so they were trying to cross here. That's why the car in front of us stopped. Good of him. Anyway, so yeah, I hope that she'll eventually click and start using those buttons, because right now it's a guesswork, and I have to try and figure out which command made her the most happy, and then try to do something with that, because it's not always clear what she wants. And once she figures out those three buttons, then I could probably put more buttons down for other things that she might want, like a button for refilling her water dish or something along those lines, or her wanting to go to bed, because sometimes she does that, or she wants to go onto the balcony or onto the couch or all these other things. The buttons are kind of expensive though. They're like $18 to $19 a piece, because they're actually not supposed to be for dogs. They're more for people who have issues communicating. They can have pre-recorded stuff on a button, like if they need something. Come on, you can do it. so they can have something pre-recorded if they need something, and then their helper, whoever that is, knows what it is that they want, because they have to do is press the button if they can't say it, you know. So they're actually like specialty help things. I'm pretty sure that there are also specialized ones for dogs, but I don't think we have those yet in the Netherlands. I think we need to order those online. I'm gonna put it over here in the corner, hang on. Hopefully it will fit. I think we're okay. And I'm also gonna clean my windows because they're covered in the nastiness. There we go. Take all that out. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the grocery store and get some batteries so we can get some stuff programmed on that last button. And I'm actually gonna call it here this video because I don't really have much else to say. Hope you enjoyed the little ride here. And thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.